I don't understand whether it's trying to align with the Emilocom movement. I don't know. But we are watching him.
The suit you are putting on, are you from?
We are watching him.
Are you from England?
I say we are watching Okafor.
The suit you are putting on, are you from England?
Well, since the Emilocom is the one in charge, that means you want to align. Amala. Please, I don't do that trouble. All right, the bill for the automatic transmission of election result is gaining some momentum. I mean, I was quite impressed. Of course, as at last week, we had a public hearing on it, and this week, the past second reading, and there were a lot of support coming from the senators. I mean, for the first time, I saw senators stand up to give some kudos to this bill. Okafor, maybe kudos to this bill. Okafor, maybe we may be seeing this bill come through.
No, as a matter of fact, I did not even see any kind of, do I call it a dissenting voice? I didn't see any senator say no.
For the first time.
Yes, let's not go this way. And all of them are tilted towards the things that are very, very important to us, though we don't have the
details.
We don't have the in our front. Things like electronic transmission of results, things like a harsher punishment for vote buying, and things like making the INEC officials responsible for their own election, if possibly being the one to say our election is this, not even conveying the body of proof that election was rightly done or not on the candidates who never conducted the election. They actually just voted that day. They campaigned for people to vote for them. Senator Seraki Dixon was in particular about that burden being transferred to the candidates who never conducted the election. They are the one that will come to court to prove or disprove. They say he who alleges must prove. These are beneficiaries, no doubt, but the procedures were not handled by them. They were handled by INEC staff. So the institution that is in charge of this should be the one to say, see what we did. It is okay. Look at what we did. Look at what we did. So, but that said, I wish you have seen the entire bill. I would have still added some more. There is something that is very, very important to me, and I don't know if it is there. That is judges not having power to declare anybody winner or loser. Because that is the right of the people. The judges can say that these procedures were right, if they are faulty, they go back to the field. Those areas of polling units affected, they go back to conduct.
All right, Philip, one of the things that...
And in doing so, somebody must be punished to pay so that they don't keep doing that. The cycle does not continue.
Because like what they did in Omoye.
Yeah, because the officers involved are not punished, and I do know that this bill is also touching that. Because officers involved, and I mean INEC officers involved, are not punished.
I'll come to you on that punishment, because I mentioned it on another case. I think that day yesterday or day before yesterday. Now, Philip, we did not know the nitty-gritty of this bill until INEC started interpreting it to us. Some of us just thought that there was going to be automatic transmission of electronically of results. But now they are saying that it's an option or it's a monitoring process. Now, how do we know that is what we want that is on the bill?
Thank you very much. For the first time, I feel Nigerian senators, they woke up and would say whether they are just face dressing. For now, I wouldn't say anything about their performance yesterday, because this is just a second reading. He has to go through committee and come out for full debate before he go for third reading and before it passes. Yes, they have started on a good note. We hope that they will continue on that good note. Coming to the issue of what question you asked again, that
the Supreme Court has.
Oh yes, like that. Yes, when the 2022 Electoral Act was passed and was assented to, Nigeria, were happy that they have a document that will give them a good elections, but that not to be. And when Amupota was, appointed as the national chairman of INEC, he told us that the Supreme Court has interpreted that section to mean that it's just a part of the process. But where I I have some difficulties here is both the Constitution and the Electoral Act gave INEC power to put down procedure through which they can conduct an election that will produce transparency and a good result. Based on that, INEC went to the market. They told Nigeria over and over and over again through their Commissioner for Education and for voters education. That's a person of Mr. Koi, and he's a lawyer, and he was always on air. Even the chairman of INEC then, Mahmoud Yakub, also told us that look, everything is a done deal, and they even went ahead and used the system they said they were going to use for the election to conduct election in Osun State, and everybody saw the result and they were happy. They used it to conduct a by-election in Delta House of Assembly in the Soko South constituency. I remember they used it in Anambra State. So when they said the Supreme Court said it's just part of election monitoring of the result, I begin to wonder whether these people are ever serious. Okafor has said it that look, if you said it's part of a monetary result, what happened to the result to use it to declare? I just mentioned Osun State, House of Assembly by election data and some other ones. So the question is that are these people ready for exchange, or they are just playing to the gallery? That's why I said for now, yes, they have started on a good note. You can see people who are serious within them. I was very particular about the senator representing Kebbi, Senator Alero. He was very specific that the law, that's what we have said on this table, that we deal with transmission of results to be very specific. That it should be very specific. There's no gainsay about it. And Senator, this is bias. I said, look, it is the burden of proving whether the election was conducted within the confine of the law to be on INEC. That INEC should be the one to come to say that, yes, this election is conducted within the provisions of the law. Failure to do that, that election does not exist. Going forward, I think I want to agree, add my voice to Okafor's voice, letting the National Assembly know that, look, that is not all. The power to declare the final result of election to be stripped from INEC should remain with the people, which is what democracy stands for. It is the people that vote for who.
And not even the judiciary.
That's what I'm saying. It should be taken away from them entirely. When there are disputes from that result from election, it is not for the court to declare who is the winner or not. It is to declare whether the election was conducted within the confine of the law or not. And if it's not conducted within the confine of the law, they should go back and do it the way it is stated.
All right. Now, Okafor, let me come to you. You were talking about punishment for people. I think it runs on all facets of the Nigerian government workers. Even if you are retired from government, you can be called back to look at the paper you signed, and you feel punished for it if it was signed. Now we're narrowing down to elections. Now, can they do that?
Okay, now let me call.
That's number one. Then number two, so that I take the two of them. Number two part of it is what I asked him. How do we know the content of this?
Let me start from knowing the content. I want to start from knowing the content.
Yes.
They say Supreme Court judgment is the final and there's nothing that can change it, and it is true. But that the idea that we cannot criticize that judgment is not true.
It's not true.
Not even Supreme Court justice didn't say that. Let me. What's the name of this justice? Justice Ibrahim Mohammed. He was former CJN. Let me read to you what he said. He said, with the way we operate, if any of you has any reservations, please write us and criticize us within the ambit of your knowledge and experience. This is the words of CJN, a former CJN, Ibrahim Mohammed.
Thank you.
Yes, many of them have. He said, we can't claim to know it all. We are still learning, because learning, as we all know,
never
is
stops.
continuum. Our doors are wide open for constructive criticism. He said, even our grammar, punctuation have been corrected to avoid error in the rulings. Mean after they are typing or whatever, they even give it people to correct punctuation to avoid error. If you go on and on, because it's the work of man. Now, when the Amupiton says the Supreme Court has said that the IREF was not even for transmission. That is for verification. So I want to ask us, that's why you say, how do we know what is there? So when we were protesting against Buhari, all through, for us to get electronic transmission inside Electoral Act of 2022, that was only bone of contention between us and Buhari. More than 23 CSOs participated. Many Nigerians fought for that. So when all Nigerians were fighting for that, we didn't know what we are fighting for, except those that know that are the Supreme Court justices that delivered the case that brought in Asiwaju. We didn't know what we were fighting for. I said he didn't want to sign, he doesn't want to sign. The legislators that did all that, all this Okano that said there was no network in my village.
Mohammed Lawan.
Lawan that said there's no network in my village. That made them to add the exemption of manual transmission. Didn't know what other people were fighting for. So the whole Nigerians, we didn't know what we signed for. I asked question. Maybe they should enlighten us. Was it the laws with which those things were written? Where did the understanding come in that law that we didn't know what we asked for? And after signing of Electoral Act 2022, we jubilated. We jubilated and felt that what we are looking for, we have it. So was it the worst that was wrong, that we couldn't know what the interpretation was? There was never a place where we anticipated, by the letter or by spirit, that that is for verification and not for transmission. As a matter of fact, it was tried out in several states.
Hey Biba, welcome. Greetings everyone. Please double tap the screen device to like, share the video.
It got to the Senate election. Did it the same day
Kenny,
election that
welcome.
was done, the same day at the same polling unit, the same time the president election had a glitch. Instead, we now took the Supreme Court to let us know that what we thought we had is not what we had. That is not what we want. We want a nation that we can call our own. We see, when we don't make this nation a nation that we can build, we will have
Double
no
tap
other
your
one.
screen device to
Now we
like,
are having another rule again.
or click on the
How are we
three
going
dots
to know
on the
that by
upper
the time
right
say
corner.
mandatory electronic transmission of result? They will say,
there's no clause.
they will say, I've emailed it to the INEC chairman. I don't need to display because the law didn't say display. And they will now take the matter to Supreme Court. Supreme Court will now say it is not intended. See, this nation is ours. Like you said, after the party, so Nigeria is still ours. So let's come to punishing people for the actions they take. Let me tell you, when you see, when a police officer wrongly,
assault
someone under any kind of whatever he's not supposed to do, wrong use of power or arm or anything, you sue police. As a matter of fact, you sue Police Service Commission. You sue those people, they become responsible for this. In most cases, before the case is over, the officer must have finished serving and gone. We must have a system where the institution can transfer whether court judgment, either a fine or whatever, into this officer, even though it's fractional. Because otherwise, the money they're still going to use to pay damage, if you sue police, still our Nigerian money.
Yes.
So the police officer is immune to act how he likes, knowing that when you sue the police, apart from maybe being fired, which they never do, or demotion, which they never do, there's no other way of ensuring that his actions is responsible for the consequence of his actions. We must have a way of punishing INEC officers, whoever they are, that has been given the opportunity and they misuse it. There must be a way of punishing them.
Philip, in closing, he just said it now. The CSOs, because we don't see the fight of the CSOs again as it used to be. The fight of the people we see now are activists trying to make things change. How should we know that the change is effected? Will the document be displayed so that we can see it? Just 1 minute.
That's why I said the action of the Senate today could be seen as window dressing. It also means that they are playing to the gallery. He has said it all. Because in 2021-22, Nigeria fight tooth and nail to ensure that we have a document that can guide INEC to give us an election that we will accept. And when that document was passed into law, the then president refused to assent to it. After back and forth, they went and negotiate and agree. Some part were removed and it was signed into law. And INEC came to say that this is where we're going to go, and they even took step and did, like he said, on that election day, the National Assembly result were transmitted well, and everything was, accepted. But the presidential, election had, that is the most important election to us. Now they have started again by saying that do this, do that. Like you said, how do we know the content of the bill before then? It is only then, and even if we know the content, after he's been passed into law and signed into law, what will the content looks like? But again, in as much as we don't have that, but this basic thing should be there, that one, the judiciary should not be the one, their power should only be to decide whether election was conducted within the confine of the law or not, and they should be strive of power of declaring winner from electoral result. Two, INEC should be the one to prove to court if they are dispute that the election they conducted within the confine of the law that established it. Three, the bill should be very express. Now, I have said here before that electoral result in Nigeria, electoral result should be transmitted electronically, real time. Not that, like he said, because the people are funny. They shouldn't go that, because they don't. We say they were sending through email, and then they said the email.
All right. I can't go further, but one of the most basic things you said is real time. Now, if you don't know the meaning of real time means as we are punching, it's showing on the screen and we are seeing in real time. As it's happening, we are seeing. That's real time. And that's what we want. We'll be right back.
Anyway, so what he says here is that the mandatory electronic transmission of election results, right? It's past second reading. That's what they say. We don't know what that is going. We don't know whether the president is going to sign it. It just passed. Now pass second reading. Do you understand? So we don't know. Me, I saw it and I was like, what? Okay. But we need to, like they're saying and they're talking about right now, we need to know what's inside it. It's not enough to say, let's pass. What are the details? What is the makeup of that, of the bill mandating it? We need to look, we need to rip it apart. Do you understand? I'm going to try and find a copy of it. Hey, Michael, welcome. Oh, greetings, my brother. I appreciate. Welcome. So we need to know. Now, in other news, Nnamdi Kanu fired all his lawyers, saying go represent himself. I'm sure you guys know that already. But for those of us that are not aware, that have been following it, he has fired all his lawyers and he says he wants to represent himself. I think he named, whether not witnesses in name, I don't know. Hope Uzodinjo was among the people he named. I don't know what for, don't ask me. So that's that. And then Showore, they don't arrest Showore. All the people, they say, oh, Showore left. Why did they not arrest him? They don't arrest him. Oh, he went to see Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court today, where he go visit him. Now they arrest him. They asked the Nigerian police force why. I'm going to play you the video. Maybe they use their mouth talk why they arrest Showore. Okay. And then about how many people they kpai yesterday for Kogi? Is it Kogi or Kogi? Yesterday they kpai banned terrorists enter some communities for there, wipe out some people for there. Now in Plateau State, is it Benue State? I think, is it Plateau or Benue? I think it's Plateau State. 64 communities have been completely wiped off the map. 64. Please let that sink in. Not 64 individuals, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 64. No, 64 communities. And then IDP camps is growing. The only thing that is successfully growing in Nigeria is IDP camps. They are going into their millions in your own land. Okay. Okay. Let me play this video. Guys, please, as you come in, double tap your screen device to like. The likes are very low. Double tap your screen device to like the show, please. Okay, so here it is. This is Plateau State again. Soldiers arrested our youths for defending their people. Plateau community leader alleges. A community leader in Boai District, Mango local government area of Plateau State, has accused soldiers of arresting youths in the community for daring to rise up and defend their people following a recent attack perpetrated by suspected Fulani militants. The community leader who made the allegations while addressing the commissioner of police who paid an an on-the-spot visit to the area after an invasion, narrated how some youths were picked up and charged with possession of weapons after they managed to procure locally made arms to ward off the attackers, who had sophisticated weapons that could only compare with what military security operatives handle. He wondered how and where the Fulani invaders get their weapons of destruction from and were not arrested. In contrast, the community youths should be arrested for possessing crude weapons which they use to defend their people on being unalived. Let me go to the video I want to play for you guys. Sorry, I'm on another verse. All right, we could not listen. I think he gave an interview on the channels or Arise News as well. I think so.
Today, Shore has been arrested by the Nigeria Police Force. And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple. The 13 people that were arrested previously all gave their statements, and there is a constant in all of their statements. Every one of them mentions that one Omoye show led them into the restricted area in contravention of the court order. So it would be most unfair to charge some people to court and leave the person that led them to commit that more like their leader, the lead protester who told them and took them into the restricted area. And that's why in the spirit of fair play and to ensure that justice is served, Omoye was arrested today, and like the others too, he wouldn't spend time with us, he won't spend 24 hours with us. Once we wrap up the charges, he's going to be prosecuted. In fact, if everything goes right, our plan is to ensure that he is prosecuted today, goes to court today. About the Nnamdi Kanu protest and what's the latest on it, you would remember that 8 people were arrested on Monday in the Transcorp area of Abuja. They were arrested because they contravened the court order that restricted movement within those areas. Despite several warnings to them not to move into the restricted area, they charged headlong into the area, and like we warned 2 days before the protest, in our statement, anybody that contravenes the order will be arrested and prosecuted. So, like the one we actually got them arrested, and 5 others around the Ministry of Finance also within the restricted area, bringing that to 13. And they were arraigned. So the very next day, they didn't spend up to 24 hours in our custody. They were arraigned the very next day, and they've been remanded.
Now, people are pushing for the devolution of powers, right, to regional whatever. And apparently, in September, they said Tinubu agreed. There was a newspaper article, whether it was Punch, I can't remember now, agreed that he's looking into it. We don't know what will happen. There might be surprises of these leaves of these APC people, but we'll see. Anyway, moving along. Now, in other news, our new INEC chairman has been sworn in. He has been sworn in. They don't swear in on a new INEC chairman. He will soon start work. Okay. Now, let me play this clip of The mandatory electronic transmission of results has been proposed by the 10th Assembly. Let's listen to this NTA clip. Oh, there's no noise. There's no talking. Okay, moving along. ECOWAS has dropped Jonathan for Osibanjo. Okay, ECOWAS don't drop. They don't drop Jonathan sharply. When they hear say Jonathan won't come out to contest as president, they say who sigh, they drop him sharply, replace am with Osibanjo to lead its election observation delegation for the upcoming Cote d'Ivoire elections. Una know who go dey behind am now, because you know say na T-Pain na im dey fund ECOWAS too with the help of his paymasters. I ask what yet Osibanjo went to Jonathan to take lessons. I ask what credible experience and moral standing does Osibanjo, a beneficiary of Nigeria's sham 2019 presidential election, have to lead the ECOWAS election observer team to Cote d'Ivoire? Ewo, na Punch News carry am. ECOWAS dropped former President Jonathan and chose Professor Osibanjo to lead the ECOWAS team for, unsurprisingly, President Tinubu wields strong influence over the current ECOWAS leadership and could determine most of his decisions. Why did ECOWAS drop Jonathan for Osibanjo? Okay, we've already gone through this. This was when he just arrived at the Federal High Court in Abuja.
Put that phone down. This is my younger brother now. What are you upset about? Put that phone down. So you said the commissioner of police should arrest me? Yes, we are not over what? Bring you to the office. By force? Is it by force? I'm not holding you. No, but you said that. So why you then? So we didn't bring a letter of invitation now. Somebody. That's not your business. When did you start telling people how to wear their clothes? You should not use phone. Let my car follow me. Is the car here?
Guys, please double tap the screen to like.
No, wait. You have to take me with my lawyer, so provide an avenue for. Your lawyer can come and No, wait now. Let him enter first. Okay. Clear the thing now. Where's this person? Oh. Where's your second? Where's she now? She's at the back there. Enter, please. Can you come? Drive down. How are you now? How far? No, sir. Even though you know what you are doing is bad, so I'm not doing anything bad. No problem. Well, you know we had to stand for you when they oppressed you. So if you are standing for oppression, you know the problem. Just follow us. Anybody that follows us. Please, my car is coming. You said it's an invitation. Why are you in a hurry? I don't understand. Only they have the invitation. How are you? Is this your car? Yes. So they follow us from behind. Let me give them my stuff.
Why? What did he do?
They said they shouldn't be the driver that was able to capture when the police was saying they should drop phone.
Follow them, or?
Yes, follow them.
See, that was how one day says.
They go.
Oga, follow them. Don't wait. Just drive behind them.
Do you guys remember there was a guy, I can't remember his name now, that Traore helped to go release. He was locked up in jail, and then Traore helped to go release him. The same guy was standing with the police, apparently, right? While when Traore went to protest free Nnamdi Kanu, the guy was organized a counter protest against what Traore was doing. When Showore was being arrested, the guy was standing next to the police. I'm telling you, it's wild. I can't remember the guy's name. If I remember his name, I'll let you guys know. The guy he was locked up. They forget him for prison. Now Showore go into. I mean, you don't have to like Showore's ways. Oh. For me, if what Showore does, brings about people being released from prison, set free. Omo, I support. I know they discriminate. Okay? I know they discriminate. I go support them. So that's what. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get somewhere here. And they try to pull up the video. Okay, I won't play the Senate reading. The Senate, I won't go their channel. Actually want to hear. Let us hear what they were saying while this bill was passing second reading. It's very important. Make we know. National Assembly. Nigeria. Here we go.
Announce, do cancellations, they explain to no candidate, they explain to no party. And yet the law says, if you challenge it, he who alleges must prove. No. In every other matter, that may very well be the case. That's the common law. But we must make a change in our reviews in the Electoral Act now, requiring that for electoral matters, which are, as we lawyers say, sui generis, they're a particular class of their own. We must shift that burden. The burden of proving that the elections have been conducted peacefully and in accordance with law must shift to INEC. I want us to look at this carefully, and then when we do the clause by clause and at the committee considerations, we can look at it. Mr. President, thank you very much as we unite to give this country a flag that will stand the test of time and deepen our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me commend my brother, distinguished Senator Seriaki Dixon. And also, I'm sure that even myself and Senator Abaribe, who have been around for almost 2.5 decades in these electoral matters, I know you don't care about political party, you win election in any party. so you have a lot of experiences, but you will agree with me that since PDP left, the elections have improved tremendously in this country. Because I recall I've been close to most of the presidents since 1999. And I recalled in 2007 when I won as a governor, our then president, may so rest in peace, President Yaradua, had to come out publicly to say that the election that brought him as president was totally flawed. I don't know whether you know that. He said it, that it was totally flawed, that the election was full of inconsistencies and rigging. Since then, we have plugged the holes. So now imagine this last election. We had to go up to Supreme Court arguing as to whether winning the Federal Capital Territory was the only reason why you should become president. Instead of the FCT being counted as a state for the purpose of calculation the 2/3, people are saying, no, win FCT and then you have won presidency. So you can lose in 36 states of the Federation, but once you win FCT, that automatically you have become president. And they wasted time. They had panels upon panels in different television studios. And at the end of the day, we got to Supreme Court and back. Common sense could have told us that that was not the intent of the Electoral Act. So we can only do our best. Nigerians will still do mischief. And for those of us from Anambra, we know that there are people who travel abroad during election, crafting papers, and immediately after the election, they go to court. And they would submit papers that you can't even fault. And then suddenly you find them inside the Senate. And the real winner is crying outside. I don't want to mention the name. But Senator Alero, you know the person. no need. So we must find a way to plug the loopholes of such occurrences so that we can have a better electoral system. But just to add, so we can go into other businesses. Is there anybody who is opposed to this electoral amendment going for second reading? Anybody who is opposed to the electoral act amendment going for second reading? Senator Garba, are you opposed to it? Maidoki, are you opposed to it? If you are not opposed to it, let's go for second reading because we still have Lagos to go and ventilate our thoughts. No, but this time around, I bow to you. I defer to you. So please say something.
Thank you very much, the Senate President, for recognizing me. My name is Senator Garba Musa Maidoki, representing Kebbi South Senatorial District. It's a privilege to be able to comment on this very important issue, sir. And I would like to commend Senator Siriake Dixon, first for making it possible that the law should allow INEC to be the one that will prove their election instead of the other way around. The INEC has the voting materials, have the PVC. I saw it on newspaper just last 2 weeks that INEC is requesting 1.5 billion for somebody to get a certified root copy. That is absurd. But largely, sir, I have seen election. I know I'm a first timer, and you know we went through baptism of fire. I have seen election where the guideline has clearly stated this ABC. People were declared winners with less than 100 votes instead of saying the election is inconclusive. And those people were never prosecuted. INEC didn't do any post-mortem to say, look, what you did is wrong, and bring those perpetrators to book. I think INEC need to, after each election, see where the infringement are, who acted on that infringement are actually prosecuted. And lastly, sir, is diaspora voting, sir. Sir, I understand diaspora remittance is now more than the crude oil income coming into this country. If these people are so patriotic to be bringing in dollars, when some of us politicians will be taking this money out without any job, they have sweated, get the money, brought it back to Nigeria so that it will improve our economy. Why are they not allowed to determine the future of this country? Thank you, sir.
Is that last point? You said people brought in money. No, it's important because you are talking to Nigerians.
Yes, sir.
You said they brought in money so that they can determine the future of Nigeria.
No, they should be allowed to also participate in determining the future of Nigeria. The diaspora people.
So because they bring in money.
Yes, sir.
Into the country.
Yes, sir.
They should be allowed to determine the future of Nigeria.
No, in participation with other Nigeria. Don't get me wrong. So that they can vote. That's what we are saying.
I thought those of us that are in Nigeria should be excluded.
No,
those who bring in money should be allowed to determine.
No, we don't want you to be excluded. But those people are very patriotic, Your Excellency.
The two Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Ekong Samson. I speak for Akwa Ibom South. I am most interested in this conversation because even our very uncommon president was a witness when I won election from Uyo prison. So this topic has a strong attraction to me. I think it cuts across theaters of conversation. It has to do with our trusteeship, with our social contracts. I've always been of the opinion that ghosts don't rig elections. Ghosts don't appear and rig. It is the players who compromise, who subvert the clear rules that have been set up and outlined. I think the pith and substance of this conversation has to do with our attitude to electoral integrity. I am firmly of the opinion that unless we firm up our electoral integrity, we leave our democracy in peril. We don't lack laws in Nigeria. We have a wealth of laws. The major challenge we have is the implementation, is the enforcement of these laws. And that's why the issue of sanction, where there are clear infractions in electoral process, has a strong attraction to me. So as we look at the gaps in electoral law, it is imperative that we address the issue of sanctions, which will also serve as a deterrent. I wrote somewhere, you recall that I do a lot of poetry, and in one of my poems, I lamented that outside we condemn Oyenosi, but inside we still vote. And that in electoral process, there are two types of feel. They feel, or what looks like they feel, as much as possible in addressing the issue of integrity in electoral process. We must ensure that the feel is actually the feel, and that the results clearly reflect the will of the people. That is the substance of this conversation, that we have to see ourselves, that the players must see themselves as trustees of the mandate of the people, as people who have been given some mandates to play out, and that we must have respect to the will of the people. As I said earlier, it is the operators that create the problem. Whatever gaps that we need to fill up, if our behavior falls short of basic expectations, we continue with this cycle of discourse. But I think that this offers a clear opportunity for us to correct the imbalances, to right wrongs. And I wrote somewhere about the road wrong. Whether something favors us today, we must always look at the larger picture. Where our electoral process is full of gaps, we might well be entrapped by in those gaps tomorrow. So as much as possible, we must make laws that stand the test of time, laws that entrench core values. And to me, there are no better values than those values that have to do with our electoral system, because they go to the foundation of our existence. So I'm clearly persuaded to find merits in this amendment, and I trust that we will look beyond the moment, come out with a law that will outlive us, that will ramp up the confidence of our people. At the end of the day, the world will be very happy that Nigeria, whom the world looks up to, has a very, very solid premise that we can use to drive our democracy. Thank you.
The Senior Senator, Dr.
Thank you, Mr. President, my respected colleagues. I remain Dandu Muntar Mohammed, representing Kasana South. Mr. President, my respected colleagues, this bill is timely, and for austerity reason and for a better success in election in Nigeria, we have to look at the very fundamental issues that are left behind. One, unless, of course, since the amendment is comprehensive reform, a repeal and enactment intended to provide with a stronger, more credible, and more inclusive electoral reform. If, as lawmakers, to make this thing work responsibly and efficiently, and even to save cost for the country, it is very important to hold election of all their elections of various offices at one day. And at the same time, the election of local governments must be brought to the National Electoral Commission so that at least credibility will be restored in the election in the grassroots, because that is where the election is supposed to be formed so that it will have a meaningful development in Nigeria. And finally, Mr. President and my respected colleagues, the number of political parties in Nigeria are many. So it's supposed to be in this electoral reform, at least not more than 10. Some of them, they are just in the paper because they are not meaningful. Electoral process of Nigeria, they are only creating confusion. And at the same time, the defection issues which need to be addressed, because you cannot be elected in a platform and then you'll be defected without a strict law that is supposed to be put in, because the mandate and the will of the people is being betrayed. So as a matter of fact, we have to look at it as leaders to ensure that if we want to make this electoral amendment and to restore the confidence of Nigerians and also to restore the dignity of Nigeria in the international fora, we have to make sure that all these issues are looked into clause by clause so that we can move this electoral bill forward and make Nigeria greater for the better and for the yet unborn generation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished colleagues. Is there anybody who is opposed to this bill going for second reading? In the absence of it, may I ask those in support that this bill will now read the second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act number 13/2022 and enact the Electoral Bill 2025 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory elections and for related matters 2025, SB 903, second reading.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act number 13 of 2022 and enact the Electoral Act 2025 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory elections and for related matters 2025, second reading taken. This bill is now committed to the Committee on Electoral Matters to report back to the Senate within 2 weeks. Leader of the Senate. So I thank all our colleagues for their contributions. And like I said, we also have another one this weekend, I think in Lagos. In Lagos, yes. You'll be there.
Anyway, so you guys get the drift. All right, let me go to
Are you recording us?
okay. So another US lawmaker don't back Ted Cruz for the legislation when they won't pass. Okay, so what did happen for Nigeria is barbaric. All right. Now the lawyers when Nnamdi Kanu drop. See them. Guys, please continue to double tap the screen to like if you have not done so already. To those who have, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Petonu, I see you. Holy Mary, welcome, sis. I see you. Mohammed, everyone that's coming, thank you very much.
We respect that decision. We wish him well going forward.
Timothy, welcome. Tracy, I don't greet you before now, and I don't greet you now. Prince Will, welcome. Siamo, all the senior advocates handling his case, they don't officially withdraw from the case, and the court orders all other lawyers who had previously appeared for MLK to leave the court since he has chosen to represent himself. Mona here, Oshomole come out. Let us stop rigging election and arming thugs. Mona here by ourselves.
As elected persons, we as senators shall not directly or indirectly, secretly or openly, aid and abet unemployed or semi-employed people and arm them to disrupt election. If we reform our character, this problem is 90% solved. In Edo State, sir, I launched one man, one vote, one woman, one vote. At the end of the day, and as of today, it is now possible to do election without cutting dead bodies. It wasn't so before, because we convinced everybody that there is no merit in taking election or conducting election as if it is a state of war. The beauty of democracy is not the fact that you find yourself occupying an important elective office. It is the feeling in your heart that people actually, in their free will, found you worthy to be their voice and to entrust our collective patrimony in your hands to manage, to deliver the greatest good to the greatest number. That for me is the beauty. If you achieve it by the aim of, by through rigging or other manipulation, deep in your heart, you know that you are not a happy person. After every election, violent crimes increase because the politicians who have procured weapons for children who are hungry and pay them a little fee, once the election is over, they are not able to retrieve the weapons. And the weapons are then deployed by these people for violence. You can see a strong correlation between the level of criminality, robbery, etc., immediately after the election. Because these people have been abandoned since the results have been given. Somebody said I shouldn't accuse governors. I'm not accusing governors now. I'm just recalling what I have said before.
The same people that rigged are now saying that they want to stop it. Anyway, I leave una to answer that question. Make una hear wetin dey happen o.
Nigerians, it is getting worse. It is getting worse. I say worst. And we need more influencers to start speaking out. We need more influencers to start speaking out because this thing is getting worse. Yesterday, being the 23rd of October, 2025, in the evening of yesterday, bandits blocked Nasarawanke Kolo Road. This one is in Gusau, local government area, Zamfara State. They blocked that road in the evening. They blocked that road. This is the picture from the scene. They blocked the road today, not in the night, in the evening. And they abducted people. When I say they abduct, I'm not talking about one person or two. They abducted people. They buy people. They buy people yesterday. This is the car from the scene. They set this car ablaze. I said it is getting worse. It is getting worse because now they are now blocking roads. We need people to speak out. We need more people to start speaking. Because this thing I'm doing, I'm not doing it for the North alone. I'm not doing it for Nigeria alone. I'm not doing it for Africa alone. I'm doing it for even the world. Because you guys don't understand. If this North is not in order, the rest of the world will suffer. Not just Africa. Because they say if Nigeria is not in order, the rest of the world will suffer. And that is the truth. Because some people will leave this North. They will leave this North, migrate to different countries, regions, and you understand? Then in search for survival, some of them might enter armed robbery because they must survive. They must survive. You see, some might enter selling of drugs. You see the thing. So it is not just for the North alone. I'm not crying for the North alone. So we need more influencers to start speaking out. Start calling out this federal government of bandits. I know because it has not gotten to you, so you don't know what I'm talking about. You'll be like, hey, not them. My brother, the day it will get to you, I don't pray it get to you, but the day one of your family member will be abducted, that day you feel the pain. know the pain that I'm carrying inside of me and making this video. Because when I say it is getting out of hand, it is getting out of hand. You know, I told you guys, there is no stone I'll be leaving unturned. No stone. No, they will be asking me, where am I getting it? You don't go ever. No stone I'll be leaving unturned. If they hide them, I will bring her out. If they hide them, I will bring her out. You know the story. I'm not done. I'm coming again. Relax, guys. Relax. So many things happened yesterday night. Relax. I'm coming. Even the Nigerian army base that was attacked yesterday. Look, this morning, I'm coming with the full gist. Don't worry. Don't go anywhere. You know the story. I can't live here without telling the federal government of bandits to forsake.
Exactly, Michael. Yep. I'm telling you. Hey. So it be like, say, this is Loretta Onoche's handle, and she says here, so Plateau State APC has locked their door on their governor Caleb Mustwang. So it be like, say, they don't want to make Caleb run on their platform. But anyway, let's move on. Excuse me. The pinch of troubles Tinubu is dishing Jonathan in tactical progression, merely because information that Jonathan will contest in 2027 became public, is proof that Peter Obi is a saint. Jonathan has yet to declare interest in contesting, but Tinubu's government is already sponsoring a probe against him through his puppets in the House of Reps. True to reality, Jonathan's government squandered the $400 million loan it took from China to procure and install CCTV in Abuja, but this was in 2010, 15 years ago. No one would have heard of it had Jonathan remained subservient and nipped his ambition only in his feeble mind. Meanwhile, it has gone over 3 years since Peter Obi launched his presidential ambition and remained in the same. Yet Tinubu's propaganda scavengers can't find a dirt to dent his image. Absolutely. Another demolition is going on in Lagos State. I don't know where this one did take place. Okay, so okay.
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. Please, Lagos State government, do not demolish our warehouse that is located at Alabarago, Lagos State. My name is Mesoma and we sell foodstuffs at Alabarago. Yeah, these same people, government official, they came to demolish 9 of our small shops located at this Alabarago. They are coming to tell us they are going to demolish the warehouse that is not up to standard. Nigerian government, we are no criminals, we are hardworking traders. It's not up to standard. It's almost the same thing with what they are building. This building is strong, safe. We only want to survive and work honestly. Begging you people, Lagos State government, please don't take the source of our income away, please.
So this is the standard. They built this place. They broke here last year too. So this is the standard they are building. And this is the one they want to break, and they said it didn't meet standard. This is the warehouse. So please, I just want you guys to analyze this. This is the warehouse that the government people said didn't meet standard to the market. So they already start breaking the place. This is, I cannot go outside to video it. I cannot go outside to video it. They said nobody should video. So I'll just go upstairs. I will go upstairs to catch the whole scene. This is the upstairs of my own side. I'll sleep on the window so that they will not know I'm videoing. They said nobody should video. So this is...
But they will know now it is you after.
They are breaking it. Where is it?
Can you imagine?
They're breaking everywhere. They've broken inside. There are some set of people that are still down. They are breaking. This is other set of people. They are breaking this side.
Meanwhile, Sunday
Hi everyone,
Jackson,
good
do you guys
morning, good
remember
afternoon,
Sunday
good
Jackson?
evening, depending on...
You guys remember Sunday Jackson? He's been sentenced to unalive for defending himself from Fulani terrorist attack. And the Nigerian Bar Association is silent. Shouldn't the Nigerian Bar Association stage a protest, all-out protest to save this man? Remember that video when I showed about the man when they cry, say they can't destroy his shop? Make una listen to them. Thank God, say don't enter Arise News.
Abuja. A Christian property owner in a viral video alleged that the Sharia Court of Appeal seized and auctioned his shop to recover a tenant's unpaid debt despite his possession of title deeds and the tenant's goods remaining inside. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has sparked widespread debate about jurisdictional overreach. Well, let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor gun. Said they are for Sharia Court of Appeal that their chief litigation and chief registrar has auctioned my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this church in 2012 for our rent. Their phone shop in number. I rent one to somebody. They said the person in the shop, we saw it as credit. I told the person owner, why don't you go back his goods? That the goods inside that shop, they don't think about the goods. They say what they know is they want to take that shop. I tell the business should come to the court and tell the victim the owner of the shop. I go there. Even though I'm a Christian, I tell them why should a Christian go to Sharia court? They say I must stop. If I'm the owner, then they will leave me in my shop and take all the documents to them. Even when I reach here, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I also the shop, that they are doing handover. Because I'm a Christian, because I'm Igbo, they collect my shop. Sharia court, even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia court? God help me, God help me, God help me, Nigeria help me, my Lord finish you, my Lord finish you, my Lord finish you, I do that nothing.
So sad. You know, some legal experts have argued that this represents a clear overreach of Sharia court jurisdiction, as the property owner is a Christian, and the matter involves a commercial tenancy dispute rather than Islamic personal law. The 1999 Constitution explicitly restricts Sharia courts to matters of Islamic personal law where all parties are Muslim and have consented to the court's jurisdiction. We're yet to receive an official response from judicial authorities on this matter. Ayo.
So this is a note of warning. This incident is a red flag. I say this because, OG, you have already explained the constitutional provision for Sharia Appellate Court in Abuja. I'm sure a number of people did not even know that Sharia Court Appellate Court operates in the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, that is supposed to be a mixed hub of people from different from different states, different ethnicities, different religious persuasions to live together in the Federal Capital Territory. To now see, as you already mentioned, the overreach of the Sharia court. The first instance is that I believe that it's high time for us as a nation to revisit this Sharia court provision. Because if we're saying that Nigeria is a secular state as stipulated in the Constitution, why do we have a court that is Islamic in its foundation, in the way it dispenses justice? And then when you talk about judicial or jurisdiction overreach, we see that it's a personal matter. So Sharia court, appellate court, is meant to deal with issues around marriage and family, estate and succession, capacity, mutual consent. So matters, civil matters like that. And like you said, emphasis on all parties must be Muslim. When they begin to now interfere in matters that have to do with Christians and Muslims, then we have a problem. But that's what happens in life. Once you give an inch, you will take a mile. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying that we need to revisit this. As long as the Christians cannot ask for their own special court for Christians alone, we are raising a state of anarchy, and it's a judicial system where the lines are blurred and justice is interpreted based on religious sentiment. In saying this, like now turning up all the other stories around, Nigeria, CPC, whether or not there's Christian genocide, this attack against Christians is this. I want to appeal to this administration. Recall that when the president for the first time in a very long time, decided to go with a Muslim ticket. These were some of the concerns that were raised.
Yes.
The optics don't look good. You might not say, oh, there's no relation, but the truth is that people raise concerns around this. And if this is exacerbated under this administration, then it speaks very bad about how they've been able to manage Christian-Muslim relationships under this administration.
All right. I mean, we're yet to hear from the judicial authorities on this matter. As soon as we get more information and more details on this matter, we will bring you, our viewers, up to speed. In any ways, they say that Abuja, I'm getting a comment saying Abuja is under the penal code as part of old northern Nigeria region. So, I mean, until we see the documents on why this man's shop was seized, we will, make our final conclusion on the story. And we'll continue to bring our viewers up to speed.
I'm glad that they picked up that story. I'm really glad, because it really hurt my feelings yesterday when I saw it.
Made is correct. Rufai, the point you made is correct. Look, the truth of the matter is that a lot of Nigerians are being killed. The truth of the matter is that Christians are being killed. The truth of the matter is that the government itself has not shown that capacity even to adequately deal with the matter. Take an example of the Jos incident, where the president publicly, more or less, disgraced the IG when the president made an inquiry. How come you have not arrested anybody? A few days later, the Inspector General of Police, for example, said that they've arrested 26 people. As of today, nobody has heard what has happened to those 26 people. Now, if you are dealing with that, a committee in the United States, and you say to them, oh, we have arrested people, we are trying to end the insecurity, and they say to you, when was this trial, when did the trial take place? And you say, oh, the trial has not started. How many months ago were people killed? How many months ago were people arrested? And how many months, why have you not taken up, why have you not, put these people in trial? And this is some of the strange things about the Nigerian insecurity. We have never found the sponsors, we have never found the suppliers of arms, the suppliers of food, you just name them. And so I make the point again. We will experience this same problem if we do not find a way to end the killing. Look, over 10 years, and all the time you find the head of the military coming out to make statements like he made yesterday after the demonstration. That's not the kind of statement that he should be making. He should commit himself and his boys. They should be more concerned that, look, a nation that has been a nation that is not in a state of war, but has been going through insecurity for almost 15 years, that should bother the head of the military more, because it's beginning to look like a failure on the part of the military. Every now and then you hear of so many bandits have been killed, this has been done, and so on. And the first question is, if you've killed 120 today, you've killed 300 yesterday, and you've killed another 40 somewhere, what is the number of these bandits that the military, the Nigerian military, a very powerful institution, has not been able to take out in the last 10 to 15 years? So I make the point again that, look, we need to find a way to end this insecurity. If it's to stop the military from doing anything but focus on this, and then return to the barracks, then let's do it once and for all. Whatever it is that is holding the leadership back from taking such an action, declare war on the bandits and clear them out within the next 3 months. That would be helpful to this country, because it's affecting our economy, not just because the United States wants to declare us as a country of particular concern. It's affecting our economy as well. It's affecting the livelihood of so many people.
Thank you so much.
So it's behold on the nation itself to be more serious and take this issue of insecurity, serious, and end it once and for all. It should not even come up anymore. No, there's no way you can explain it. As far as I'm concerned, there's no way you can explain it. You have a military that is relatively well looked after. You have a military that the leadership is well paid.
Yes. Thank you
so much. Why can't they just decide on their own that, look, This thing must not go beyond a certain period. Can they take a vow to say by this time next year, we'll not be talking of insecurity in this country again?
Thank you. All right, Ambassador
Can the military give us that assurance?
Now, I'm reading from Deacon Nick Donnelly. I don't know who he is. This is just a tweet that I saw. The Nigerian government, military, political parties, the Nigerian government, military, political parties, judiciary, and media are all complicit in the genocide of Christians. This is in regards to this Sunday Jackson. I don't know why the judiciary ought to shut down. First of all, we don't have any judiciary. There's no need. They ought to pour out in the street and demand that this guy not, because this guy's blood is going to be on all their heads. How can an innocent man defending, protecting his life be put to buy? Oh my goodness.
Who was abducted from another country, been granted bail by the court. They're saying, look, free this man. Even the politics of which should have informed the rulers of Nigeria that it's not good for optics. That you have real terrorists who have borne arms, killed multiple numbers of persons, completely unrepentant, who are busy walking around free. But a man who has carried the genuine grievance of his people, you may not like his methods. That's a different ballgame entirely. But how do you complain about his methods when you are mollycoddling even worse? How do you have this conversation about having one subject itself to a justice system that is manifestly unjust and incapable of delivering it, while telling the other one to ignore the fact that there are worse criminals, even in terms of crime, that are being ignored? It is the double standard that makes this argument difficult to stomach. There is a judicial system, quote and unquote, but that judicial system is completely blind to the crimes of one, and in the other one, you find a dissonance that suggests that, okay, so it's okay to treat this one like this, but it's fine to treat the other one in that manner. It is the uneven scale that makes this argument inequitable to even present in the first place. If everybody are treated the same, then we can have this discussion. Those who bear arms against the Nigerian state, who murder citizens in their beds, in their homes, on their farms, nothing ever happens to them. The Nigerian state is constantly talking about repentant terrorists. We have the most successful radicalization program in the entire wide world. We should be exporting it. But it is in Nigeria that those who presume to demand to be treated decently as human beings, governed and protected by law, are serially assaulted and murdered.
So Nigeria is seeking UN's help to secure 10 billion long-term funding to address Nigeria's internal displacement challenges. My people. Oh my God.
Hours after that Aisha that was kidnapped video, they've been sharing it for 72 hours. It's been trending. Up till now, there is no statement from federal government. Up till now, there is no statement from any minister. Up till now, there is no statement from any senator. Up till now, there is no statement from House of Reps. All for mental people there. Up till now, there is no statement from federal government. The state government, there is no statement from them. It's quiet. Are you with me? Very quiet. Very, very quiet. As if nothing happened. May God not let Nigeria happen to you. This is sad. Can this happen in Kenya, South Africa, UK, America, Europe, even France, that they go and no statements, and people are showing it, people are talking about it, and there is no statement from security agencies, no statement from government, no statement from anywhere. That shows you are not important as a citizen of this country to the people that are ruling you. That's just the fact. That is just the fact.
You don't need to stress yourself too far. If you are important, won't they talk about that video? Won't they say they are doing something about it? No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Look at what is going on with Kanu Nandi. They just pardoned murderers, drug dealers, so many people. But what does it take them to pardon Kanu Nandi? Tell me now, they even reach agreement with bandits, allegedly. What does it stop them to convert Kanu to security network in that region, southeastern Nigeria? At least former President Ebele Goodluck converted militants, don't follow them, to people that now protect our critical assets. You can see the crude oil is going smoothly now since they made Tompolo company to protect our crude. So you can see, so Kanu is useful. You just need to redirect the energy. I've made videos 2 years ago to advise this government on what they can do with Kanu. Kanu is bigger than one governor decamping to you because his network cut across the region. You can convert him to a good asset. There won't be protest. There won't be need to arrest your work. Just do the needful. Second term is important, but the life of your people are equally important. APC government start working. This is not fair.
Story. Work care. Work call. Work ni. Anyway, my people, this is all I have for you at this time. I'm not going to do past this one. Godwin, welcome. And na replay game na you go dey. I say make I quick come bring this story come give una this morning. It depends on how the day goes. I'm going to be watching out if I don't know whether our president go sign on electronic transmission of electoral. I don't know. You people should not get your hopes up. Nothing. I'm not sure. But one thing is for sure, I don't know. I see there's a lot of pressure on the government right now, on their Nigerian government. Pressure won't break their neck. I know there's pressure from everywhere. Confusion don't dey their midst, but we continue to observe and continue to talk about it and do the best we can from here, because I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else. Unless the people who are behind the scenes strategizing and doing what they need to do. My question that I will always leave with Nigerians is, are you ready to take back your country come 2027? That is the question I'm asking. Before we start to talk about regional or no regional, are you ready to take back knowing that your ancestral lands are there? Are you ready? They have borrowed you people to infinity. We don't know how that money, how much they've even borrowed. Now, the ones where they bring out, now we know. We don't know the ones where they collect behind the scenes. With that, I say you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you on my next one. Bye. Oh, before I go, I almost know the poll. Okay, will APC survive 2027? 68% said no, 32% said yes. Okay, all right. George, you go answer that question yourself. If you are Nigerian, go and answer that question. What does it mean to you taking back your country? Is your ancestral land in that geographical location? What does that mean to you from your own point of view? The same people where they say there's no genocide and everyone is living in peace, they go UN to help with billions to take care of IDP camps. Not be now my my brother. You know. All right, my people, I go see you now later. Bye.